Fresh air, longer days, a chance to reset. This season, let therapy be part of your spring cleaning. Clearing mental clutter, shaking off stuckness, and building something better. Grow Therapy helps you get there. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 15th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Osdol.
This is Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Osdol. Car Con Carne brought to you by Exploding House Printing. They're here for all of your screen printing, embroidery, and other merchandise needs. They're local. They're over in Hermosa. They focus on small businesses, bands, brands, everything in between. Jonathan is the guy behind Exploding House, and he has you covered. Beyond his technical expertise, and there's a lot of it, he delivers production efficiency and cost awareness to offer boutique print shop quality at much lower large print shop prices. Check Exploding House out on the Insta. That's what the kids say at Exploding House, or check out their site at explodinghouseprinting.com for a quote, or just check out their super impressive list of clients. So this is Friday, the 17th of April. Next week, Wednesday night, I'll be spinning nothing but local music at the Gallery Cabaret over in Bucktown. Bucktown? Is that right? I think it's Bucktown. Over by like Western and Armitage. Gallery Cabaret. I'll be spinning local music starting at 7 p.m. Nothing but artists from the area, all eras, all genres. It's going to be fun. I'm going to do that for a few hours there. So we're in the car. We're in Fulton Market tonight. I'm joined by the Arrivals. The Arrivals have been around for decades, and they've served as the architects of a very specific blue-collar brand of melodic punk. It's music that's volatile, it's loud, but also literate and honest. They play when they want, they record when it matters, and they've built a legacy on being one of the most respected live acts in the Midwest. They're back with their first album in 15 years, Payload. It is out today as we're recording it, and I'm joined by Little Dave Merriman and Ronnie DiCola. Welcome, gentlemen. This is long overdue.
Thank you for having us, James.
Longtime fan, longtime listener, first-time caller.
First-time passenger.
Yeah, first-time passenger.
So I feel confident as we get to know each other. We really don't know each other. We know each other kind of circumstantially, I guess. But I feel that through the course of this interview, you're going to go that extra mile to turn my frown into a smile.
That's what I do.
Oh, I know. That's your mission statement. We're all well aware. 30th anniversary as a band, is that possible?
It is. I didn't even think of this, Ronnie, until recently, but yeah, it's 30 deep. We started in 96.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, very different era to launch a punk rock band, very different era in the present to try and get new music out there. All the rules have changed. Not that there were necessarily rules before. What's that? Let's start there. What's it like putting out new music in the present day? And why did it take so long?
Starting with what is it like now compared to back then? The internet savvy that we're expected to have, the internet presence that every band seems to need, is a lot more than it used to be. Mm-hmm. I remember a band that had an Angel Fire site. What up, D4? Was like really like ahead of the curve and kind of crazy. And now, I started a TikTok page and I don't know what to put up there. It seems so thirsty.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that drives me, we're of a certain advanced age. TikTok makes me nuts because it's that fucking intense dopamine hit. The second you open it up, you're watching videos like, let's ease into this. Let's talk for a little bit before we start showing our videos here. Let's put the brakes on here. Let me curate a little something on my own here.
Yeah, and
it's intense.
And it's with the the viewership, that quick dopamine hit. You have to come hard and fast with something.
Yes.
Yeah, the visual definitely adds something and gets you in a little bit of a trance and kind of says like, oh my God, now I like this band, or, I don't even know, but I love the video.
Yeah, the making videos is maybe a newer thing too.
And I think since everyone has the technology now in their pockets, there kind of isn't an excuse not to.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be as lo-fi and not high tech as is required. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. And oddly enough, for the last 15, 16 years, both Isaac and me have done a lot outside of the band with making videos. He's made
Isaac thoughts and prayers.
Isaac thoughts.
Yeah, he did the Treasure Fleet stuff.
He did 2 full movies that were the album as a motion picture for Future Ways. No, not Future Ways. The Sun Machine and American. Now I'm forgetting the name of it. I had it in my head last week.
Well, the third song on the album, Just Like My Brother, you did a video for that, filmed by Isaac's brother.
Isaac's son.
Isaac's son.
Yeah.
That's so cool. How old's his son?
He's 19.
I think he's 19 now.
19.
Was it one of those, hey, you're a kid, you're online a lot, make us a video?
No, he's going to school for filmmaking, I think camera work. He even, I'm not sure if he still has it, but he actually got a gig being a camera person for his university sports stuff too, because he was pursuing that. He did like skate videos and like things with his friends, and he just had a proclivity to it, and just had all this footage, and we didn't know what to do. We wanted to have a video because we knew that it would be the easiest way to get people to check the stuff out nowadays. And because we've both been making videos, it seemed like it was going to be easy, but now it's like making them for ourselves, and like the whole thirst of self-promotion is like made it a little harder. But at one point I think I suggested to Isaac, like, hey, doesn't Sirik have a bunch of like footage? I imagine like if he's like doing all this skate stuff, he might have like a bunch of fun footage. And since the song was about friendship, and the brother used as like the family you choose, the people that you spend your time with and you love, that might not be actual family. And I was like, well, I'm sure he's got a bunch of goofy stuff with his friends and all that stuff. Ask him. And
sure enough,
he came with the goods. And Isaac, being a great editor, put it all together in a really cool way, and it all really jives well. It's awesome.
And I apologize, I'm coughing. Allergies are kicking my ass right now. Are you guys getting hit too?
Yep.
It's like 80 degrees as we're recording this, and it was like 40 degrees 5 days ago. Like everyone's upside down right now.
Yeah.
So 15 years in between records, it's a big gap to bridge. Is this something you've been working toward for a while, or did you just decide now's the time for us to emerge from our groundhog hole?
Ronnie?
Well, I'd have to say, let's go back to the beginning. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But you know what? So we were supporting Volatile Molotov. We were done with that, and we had done some touring for it. Played quite a bit of shows in Chicago as well, and Minneapolis, plus the touring. And I think Isaac had, kind of just said, hey, he decided that instead of living in Chicago, he was going to move. Patty, who, had already been in a band for a while, he lives up in Minneapolis, but everybody is busy. Everybody's just super busy. Some of the tunes that are on this new record, actually kind of towards the butt end of like, going to the studio spot, getting some demos, messing around, jamming, having a good time. I know that, our Epic Jam, which I still call Epic Jam.
The Wretched of the Earth, the last song on the record.
It's the last song on the record. It's always going to be Epic Jam for me. But
Wretched of the Earth, Guns, Germs, Steel.
That was something that we had recorded just as a demo, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up is just everybody gets busy, and man, time flies.
It does.
I mean, it doesn't even feel like 30 years or like 15 years. I feel like it's been like 4 years, but long story short, I really think that, as a band, we've tried to do what we can in between these times. And I know Isaac had reached out to me a few times, and I'd reached out to Isaac and, Dave, like, hey, we got to get this going. We got to like, let's put this record out. And I remember Isaac being like, instead of putting this pressure on us, like, and with everybody just kind of being long distance, instead of, trying to push something, I hope I'm not taking too long either, but,
it's a podcast. There's no
rush. So instead of like trying to force something, why don't we book studio time? Dave and I were already kind of in tune with a couple of the demos that Dave had sent to Isaac had sent to Dave, and myself. And we're like, let's just go in and let's just do it. Like, let's have a good time.
Yeah.
Let's be spontaneous. 'Cause I feel like there's a lot of records that have come out in the past that are kind of like that. They're not overthought. And long story short, it was July, and it's, it was just a few Julys ago that we decided, like, hey, we're going to do this. We went in the studio, we knocked everything out that we could, and then getting in touch with like Joe and doing mixing and stuff and trying to nail down all that. Long story short, that's kind of my I would say just kind of my opinion on why it's been such a long break. Time flies. Everybody's got stuff going on, and you don't even realize how fast time's going. And then trying to nail down, songs and trying to nail down stuff. It was like, okay, when we did it, it felt right. And I think that actually kind of gave us a little bit of a push to say, like, hey, like, we're actually doing this, and we're going to have fun with it and keep going. We love playing in a band. We all love playing in a band together. And it feels great. So no reason not to, I guess.
And to give a little bit of the chronology, I think, like you said, the Wretched of the Earth, the last song, we've had that we had that before we recorded Volatile Molotov. We just knew.
And I wanted to talk about that song because it's almost, it's less punk than it is post-punk in a way.
I think a lot of our stuff ends up leaning that way, I think. We don't, I'm just as influenced by post-punk and non-punk things. Mm-hmm. And I've always had a hard time trying to shoehorn all of the ideas into just a some sort of core, some sort of, punks has a million subgenres, and all of those subgenres were somebody adding a different recipe, adding a different spice to the recipe. That's all we do. We're just playing with the recipe case, if you will, and just seeing what will be fun to fit in here.
Drill Baby Drill is something you wrote after the RNC in 2008. Thank goodness not much has happened between now and then. That kind of stands as your, apolitical statement on the record. Nothing else to talk about, really.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's not funny. It's tragic. We released that. Maybe it was like 2009 originally. And it was right after was it 2008 was the RNC thing. Mm-hmm. And it ended up being one of our favorite live songs towards the end when we stopped playing. And I think we always wanted to have we recorded it at our practice spot with Ronnie's digital 8-track, and it sounded rough around the edges, but it sounded cool, but we always wanted to have like a really cool recording of it. And it turns out it was still prescient, if that's the right word.
It is, and it's a good word for you to use.
Not to change subject too much, if I could just interject while it's on my mind. That 8-track that Dave's talking about, we wore out the play and recording button on there to where we had to like hit it 9 times just to get it to record and then run back and like start recording. It had seen its day, and I was mentioning to Dave he'd get a kick if he saw it right now, because it's just where it says play and record. There's just like 2 worn out buttons right there.
It got a workout. Speaking of State of the Nation, well documented on this album, I was prepping for this interview, and I prep for my interviews. I'm a pro, Dave. I was prepping for this 2 Sundays ago as we're recording this. This is coming out on Friday the 17th. 2 Sundays ago, that was the day when our president threatened to wipe out an entire civilization. And I'm listening to Payload, and it's specifically Motivation. They're bringing on the end times. I feel buried in the scary, and it's too much to move. I'm like, fuck, this. I need a palate cleanser after this song. This is hitting a little too close. I need to listen to like Paula Cole or something. I need to mix this up.
Paula Cole. I suggest Paula Cole as a palate cleanser.
Yeah. It's a go-to after the arrivals.
Yeah, they have that. It's funny because that song that started as like a character study on like the MAGA type, and the get off my lawn individualist, can't wait to stand their ground,
mm-hmm.
and I think when I think. The bringing on the end times part was that character talking about, the left. And even when we were recording it, I had that lyric and I just hated it. And soon after, I'm like, I'm going to go re-record the vocal. I'm going to rewrite this thing. And I pulled a rewrite and found that first verse in an old notepad.
Really? That's great. And you save all that stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. I have all these like little chunks, maybe just a couplet or just a starter idea, a line that pops into my head. Usually kind of has some sort of rhythm to it or a little rhyme to it. Sounds lyrical. But yeah, I had the whole first chunk right up until I feel buried in the scary and it's too much to move.
It seems like a lot of the track listing is intentional. There's a flow to it, and I'm a fan of such things. Like you have Shake and January 7th back to back, which makes sense. Also, This Is What It Feels Like and Love Is Easy are back to back. That seems intentional as well. This Is What It Feels Like is up tempo, about feeling comfortable in your own skin. And then Love Is Easy, that's a tender song. It's a tender arrival song. But it seems like you're really mindful about how you're threading the needle start to finish on this record.
Yeah. And, it's intentional and hard won. We went through a few sequences.
Sure.
Where it just, it was like, it wasn't until almost the last second that we, brought When It's Gone to the front of the list.
Do you want to be a black hole or a star? I love that. And it also makes sense that The Wretched of the Earth, kind of an outlier when placed against the rest of the album. That's kind of like, okay, we're going to finish here. Because it doesn't naturally segue in between 2 songs. It's kind of a finishing note.
Yeah, it was really hard. No, we always had that at the end. That was probably the only.
It was a slam dunk. Yeah. Tell me something good about Blue Island.
Real, honest, hardworking people. No bullshit. Know how to have fun a lot more than other areas. Loyal. Give you the shirt off their back. Our back. I haven't lived there in a while, but I was raised there, and I was raised like that. Always striving, always reinventing and building itself as far as like, the nightlife and the businesses and things like that. A lot of people stay in the area. A lot of the businesses are owned by people in Blue Island. A lot of friends of ours, like people we grew up with. And it's when I try to describe it to other people, there's a magic to it that I don't see in many other places, if any.
I love that. And also, it's easier to get to than people realize.
Yeah.
I'm actually currently
the train and the expressway
is, back down in Blue Island. So I've like done this circle around the Chicagoland area, and so I work down there. When I'm not touring, I'm working, and I just can't get over driving through, and it's like I'm not even. I mean, I always pay attention when I drive, but because I know the area so well, it's my own stopping grounds. I'm just like, I know exactly where to go. I can turn my GPS off, rock some tunes.
Yeah.
Go to bars and see friends, that have, are still in the area and things like that.
And the slick ways of getting around the trains.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You got your hacks.
Yeah. There's only a few spots.
Jumping back into This Is What It Feels Like, just this notion of letting yourself off the hook, being comfortable in your own skin. And that's the right take on this, correct?
Yeah, I started writing it for my daughter, my young daughter. It was almost like a kid's song. I was thinking about all of the different feelings that come with life and how weird some of them can be. Like I tried to capture little bits of everything. And it just ended up, as I was writing it, it was starting to get a little deeper than something for a 3 or 4 year old. So I kept playing it, and it ended up becoming one of our songs.
I love it. It connected with me. I think, all due respect to your young daughter, I feel like this is something that most people don't get to until they're much older. Like you have to work through all the shit, the anxiety, the social weirdness, so you get to a point where you're like, yeah, I am who I am. This is what it's going to be. It takes years of maturity and fucking up and learning to get to that point. I think. In my case, it did.
No, I agree. That's very well said.
Yeah, I feel like I might have just gotten to this point myself, maybe just over the last few years. I think had some tragedies during the COVID era. And having a child just put a lot of bigger perspective on things that, and coming with that, the comfort in my own skin and saying like I've spent my whole life beating myself up. I want to enjoy what I got left of doing good for my family and spreading some joy to everyone else. And
on the whole, this album, Payload, you pulled it all together. I mean, it's weird to reemerge after 15 years. I'm sure I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm sure there was a sense of, will people still be there for this? Or will this matter? Or will people pay attention? I think they should. I think you guys, this is consistent with what you've done before. I think it's moving the ball further ahead. It sounds really good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you kindly. I'm like, I want to thank you to your face, but thank you.
So the Arrivals. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate you both. And we should do this again. Keep putting out albums. You're in a groove now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us.
I know I already have a couple songs stewing.
Yeah? In one of those notebooks?
Yeah. And the notepads in phones and notebooks.
Excellent. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks so much.